Many older adults wake each morning rubbing their knees or shoulders, quietly accepting stiffness as a normal companion of aging. They move a little slower, perhaps sighing as they stand, assuming discomfort means their joints are simply wearing out naturally. For decades, society has taught seniors that pain after 60 is inevitable, the price of time and life experience. Yet, new research from a 2024 North American Rehabilitation Institute paints an entirely different, surprisingly hopeful scientific picture instead. According to this large-scale review, over 70% of chronic joint discomfort stems not from damage, but disuse. In other words, it isn't necessarily your bones breaking down. It's your body begging for proper movement again. Dr. Emily Carter, a Harvard-trained rehabilitation specialist, explains that inactivity slowly teaches muscles to forget their protective role around aging joints. She adds that even short daily periods of gentle motion can reawaken circulation, restore lubrication, and reduce tension remarkably fast. This discovery challenges the long-held belief that medication and rest are the only safe ways to relieve persistent joint pain. Instead, it shows the human body maintains an extraordinary capacity for self-correction when reminded how to move intelligently. Think about how many years you've been told to take it easy or avoid pressure when something hurts suddenly. Ironically, those cautious habits, though well-intentioned, often deprive the body of the motion it desperately needs to stay functional. Joints depend on movement to circulate synovial fluid, the natural lubricant preventing cartilage from grinding painfully against surrounding surfaces. When movement stops, that nourishing flow stagnates, leading to stiffness that people mistake for irreversible wear or bone degeneration. Dr. James Thompson from Cambridge University calls this the silent erosion of mobility, caused more by fear than biology itself. He explains that gentle movement acts like an internal massage, rehydrating connective tissue and improving balance without stressing the joint structure. This means your pain may not be permanent. It may simply reflect your body's request to reactivate circulation pathways. Imagine your joints as door hinges. They creak not because they're old, but because they haven't moved properly lately. Once those hinges move again with care, the stiffness fades, and strength gradually returns where fragility once seemed inevitable. That realization transforms despair into curiosity, because what if the solution isn't in a pill, but in purposeful, natural motion? Your body hasn't forgotten how to move freely. It's only waiting for you to remind it through gentle consistency again. Before revealing the 3 movements that can end joint pain naturally, let's uncover what truly causes it first. Most seniors assume stiff joints signal age-related decline. Yet science shows something far more hopeful and completely reversible instead. Pain rarely begins with damage. It begins with disconnection, when the body forgets how to communicate proper movement between joints. Everyday patterns of sitting, standing, or driving silently teach muscles and connective tissue to restrict rather than release healthy motion. Dr. Helen Ward, a respected physiotherapist from London, calls this mechanical amnesia, where underused joints simply lose their rhythmic coordination. She explains that the longer movement stays limited, the faster these once fluid pathways fade, causing stiffness and discomfort during normal activity. A leading UK mobility research centre recently found that even brief inactivity causes synovial fluid stagnation within just 72 hours. That fluid is the joint's natural lubricant, essential for nourishing cartilage and cushioning the body's daily twisting, bending, and walking actions. When it stagnates, the cartilage dries slightly, creating micro-friction that feels like sandpaper grinding gently beneath your skin's surface. This early stiffness tricks people into resting more, unaware that rest itself deepens the problem by freezing motion further. Overprotective habits then form, grabbing handrails for stability, avoiding stairs entirely, or sitting longer than the body truly requires daily. Each small decision reinforces a dangerous lesson. the body believes it no longer needs to maintain full range and fluidity. Imagine driving a car but never turning the steering wheel fully. The mechanisms eventually tighten from disuse rather than damage. The same principle applies inside your knees, hips, and shoulders, where movement signals control the release of crucial joint lubrication. Dr. Ward explains that motion acts like a pump, circulating nutrients that keep tissues alive, flexible and naturally pain-resistant longer. When motion disappears, circulation drops, metabolism slows, and the mind interprets the resulting tension as premature signs of aging. Yet research shows these effects are not permanent, consistent. Mindful activity reawakens dormant tissues, restoring hydration and natural resilience efficiently. This reframing matters deeply because it replaces fear with understanding. Your discomfort doesn't mean your body is failing. It's waiting. Seniors often describe this realization as liberating. They finally see pain not as punishment, but as a meaningful biological signal. One retiree in Manchester told researchers, "Once I started moving again, I felt younger, not weaker. Every single morning." His story mirrors thousands of others, proving that the body remains adaptable, provided it receives gentle daily reminders to function. The old belief insisted that joints wear out automatically with time, a slow, inevitable march toward permanent decline and fragility. The new truth reveals that joints stiffen primarily through disuse, not age. Movement is the missing nutrient restoring mobility naturally. Now, let's look at what modern science reveals happens inside your joints, and why even gentle movement unlocks lasting relief. For decades, older adults were advised to rest whenever pain appeared, believing stillness protected the body from further damage. But research now proves that too much rest slows healing by shutting down the very systems designed to keep joints healthy. Movement is not the enemy of comfort. It is the ignition switch that restarts circulation, lubrication, and repair across your entire body. A 2024 peer-reviewed Canadian physiology study found that rhythmic, low-intensity movement reactivates oxygen flow within 60 seconds of practice. Dr. Michael Turner, a senior researcher from Vancouver, describes it as pressing the refresh button on the body's internal maintenance system. He explains that when a person moves gently and consistently, the synovial pump inside the joint begins circulating nutrient-rich fluid again. This fluid acts like oil in an engine, coating cartilage surfaces and preventing painful friction during bending or twisting motions. Without motion, that pump slows to a trickle, leaving cartilage cells undernourished, dry, and unable to absorb cushioning nutrients properly. When you start moving again, every repetition literally squeezes and releases the joint, allowing fresh fluid to flow naturally through it. Think of your knees and hips as door hinges. They creak not because they're broken, but because they've gone unused. Once that hinge moves smoothly a few times, lubrication spreads evenly, friction fades, and motion becomes fluid again almost instantly. Dr. Turner notes that each gentle contraction acts as a micro-message, reminding the body that this tissue still matters for mobility. In seniors aged 60 and older, researchers recorded measurable increases in flexibility, circulation, and reduced inflammation after 2 weeks of movement. What surprised scientists most was that even minimal effort, slow, consistent micro-motion, triggered faster improvements than expected for this age group. That's because movement activates small sensory nerves called mechanoreceptors, which send feedback to the brain about alignment, balance, and comfort levels. When those nerves fire regularly, they override pain signals from irritated tissue, teaching the brain that motion is safe again. This process, known as neural recalibration, helps restore confidence by lowering pain sensitivity and replacing fear with stability during activity. Imagine it like updating software on a computer. Once outdated code is rewritten, everything runs faster, smoother, and more efficiently overall. Movement also boosts oxygen delivery to muscle fibers and connective tissue, encouraging repair while flushing out waste that causes stiffness. Over time, circulation improves, inflammation decreases, and the body learns to regulate joint pressure naturally without relying on medication for relief. Another benefit of gentle motion is its effect on lymphatic drainage, which helps remove cellular waste that accumulates during inactivity. Dr. Sarah Mitchell, a Canadian physical therapist, explains that the lymphatic system relies entirely on muscle movement to clear toxins effectively. She adds that when people stop moving, this cleansing system slows dramatically, allowing swelling and discomfort to persist far longer. Gentle activity therefore performs double duty, lubricating the joint while detoxifying the tissues surrounding it, speeding overall recovery potential. This is why movement often feels rejuvenating. Within minutes, warmth returns, pain diminishes, and flexibility feels restored without external intervention. Scientists now call this response the motion medicine effect, where regular physical activity triggers the body's natural anti-inflammatory processes automatically. It's a reminder that the human body never loses its ability to adapt. It simply waits for clear signals to reactivate. Even after decades of limited mobility, these systems can restart, proving it's never too late to nurture healing through intentional movement. So when discomfort appears, think of it less as warning and more as conversation, your body requesting motion to restore function. The old belief insisted pain meant stop. The new truth reveals movement, not medication, tells your body exactly how to heal. So how exactly do you use this science safely, at home, to restore flexibility and end daily pain? Now that you understand how gentle motion restores lubrication and circulation, it's time to translate that science into practical action. This simple 3-step plan can be performed at home in minutes, requiring no special equipment, gym membership, or complicated routines. Each movement was designed to reawaken the body's natural rhythm safely, helping seniors regain flexibility and confidence without fear or strain. The focus is not intensity, but awareness, moving with purpose, consistency, and respect for your body's remarkable capacity to recover naturally. Before you begin, find a stable surface like a chair or wall and wear comfortable shoes or go barefoot if preferred. Take a deep breath, relax your shoulders, and remember that safety always comes first. Stop immediately if sharp discomfort appears unexpectedly. With those principles in mind, let's explore the first essential step toward restoring healthy, pain-free movement patterns again. Movement 1 is called the flow roll, a gentle routine for your wrists, ankles, and shoulders designed to circulate synovial fluid. Begin by sitting or standing comfortably. Then slowly rotate your wrists in smooth, circular motions for 30 full seconds each. Next, lift your shoulders and roll them backward, releasing tension while stimulating blood flow across your upper spine and shoulder joints. Finally, rotate your ankles clockwise, then counterclockwise, keeping movements light and controlled to avoid unnecessary joint pressure or imbalance. These rhythmic rotations act like an internal massage, awakening the fluid pumps that nourish cartilage and prevent painful stiffness entirely. Dr. James Thompson from Cambridge University describes this motion as resetting the lubrication system your joints depend on for freedom. Performing the flow roll daily can dramatically reduce morning stiffness while improving coordination and balance in your upper and lower limbs. Movement 2 is the supported bend, designed to strengthen and realign the hips, knees, and thighs safely and effectively at home. Stand behind a sturdy chair, lightly holding its backrest for balance, and spread your feet shoulder-width apart comfortably, keeping your heels grounded. Bend your knees slightly as if preparing to sit, then rise slowly while maintaining steady breathing throughout. Repeat this motion 10 times, focusing on slow control rather than depth or speed, to engage large stabilizing muscle groups efficiently. This practice restores the alignment between your hips and knees, allowing pressure to distribute evenly rather than straining one side. Imagine teaching your body to move symmetrically again, the very foundation of pain-free mobility and lifelong joint preservation overall. Dr. Emily Carter, a Harvard rehabilitation expert, explains that balanced strength acts like scaffolding, protecting cartilage from friction and collapse. If balance feels uncertain, use both hands for stability or reduce the motion range until comfort and coordination improve gradually. Movement 3 is called the ground reset, an exercise that reconnects breathing, posture, and spinal alignment to rejuvenate your entire musculoskeletal chain. Sit or stand with your feet flat, shoulders relaxed, and back straight, allowing your spine to lengthen naturally toward the ceiling. Inhale deeply through your nose, feeling your rib cage expand. Then exhale through your mouth while gently drawing your navel inward slowly. Repeat this sequence for 1 full minute, noticing tension release through your hips, knees, and shoulders as your body realigns completely. Breathing controls circulation. Circulation supports healing. And posture maintains proper joint spacing. All three form your internal support system together. Dr. Sarah Mitchell, a Canadian physical therapist, describes this technique as the nervous system's reset button for relaxation and mobility restoration. With regular practice, these 3 mindful movements transform your joints into well-lubricated hinges capable of stable, graceful, pain-free motion daily. You'll stand taller, move easier, and regain confidence knowing your body remains strong, adaptable, and fully alive with potential. Let's see how these small daily movements transformed real people who once believed their joint pain was permanent forever. True transformation rarely begins in hospitals or clinics. It often starts quietly, with ordinary people deciding to move again consistently. 68-year-old Robert Hayes from Vancouver had spent years avoiding his garden, fearing every step would spark painful stiffness again. After just 2 weeks practicing the flow roll and supported bend each morning, he found himself kneeling among flowers comfortably once more. He described the experience simply. It felt like my body had been waiting for me to trust it again fully. His doctor confirmed improved joint mobility and reduced inflammation, calling the change a textbook example of motion-restoring natural fluid circulation quickly. Across the Atlantic, 73-year-old Margaret Collins from Manchester had struggled with stairs for nearly a decade after mild knee degeneration diagnosis. Within days of applying the ground reset alongside supported bends, she reported walking upstairs confidently without clutching the railing nervously anymore. She told her physiotherapist, "I don't feel fragile now. I feel balanced, stable, and surprisingly strong for the first time in years." Her progress demonstrates how proper alignment and gentle motion can restore coordination faster than medication or passive rest ever achieved. Meanwhile, 70-year-old retired teacher Linda Parker from Florida rediscovered her freedom through daily 3-minute sessions of mindful morning movement again. For years, she awoke stiff, dreading each step until these simple exercises replaced pain with warmth, circulation, and natural body awareness. She now begins every day by stretching lightly in sunlight, smiling as her knees and hips flow smoothly into motion again. Doctors reviewing her case call this kind of turnaround a biological reversal, not a miracle, but the body reclaiming its function naturally. Dr. Emily Carter explains, movement restores chemical balance, oxygen, hydration, and alignment, allowing healing to unfold as nature originally intended long ago. Each of these stories illustrates a universal truth. Motion heals, and it does so at any age, without extreme effort. For seniors, the emotional change is just as powerful. The rediscovery of independence, confidence, and genuine trust in one's own body. It's never too late to move without pain, to restore what years of stillness once quietly took away gradually. If this story gives you hope, share it with someone who deserves relief and renewed confidence through simple daily motion. Tell us your age and personal goal in the comments. Every shared success encourages another person to begin their healing journey. Your body hasn't forgotten how to move. It's just been waiting patiently for you to remember how again.